Everybody, Saul out here at the sanctuary. There's one other topic that I wanted to talk about in relation to the Sasquatch Chronicles episodes I listened to last night. In the one where the guy was talking about coming across the grubs, he was also talking about finding like these stick structures in the woods, which a lot of people talk about it. I've made videos about them. But something that I had never thought of before, in his story, when he's coming down and he comes across what he thinks is a bear, he startles this creature, okay? And this creature is obviously fishing around for grubs, the grubs that wind up being gifted to him or exchanged with him later. But just the fact that he was able to come up on this creature without it realizing because it was so engrossed in looking at the ground really made me think, since a lot of these stories about stick structures, many of them, they don't actually sound like anything that any human-like creature would actually build for a structure. They don't sound very effective, in other words. They're just sticks, limbs, trees kind of put together in this sort of teepee shape. Maybe they have nothing to do whatsoever with, shelter, but are actually sort of Sasquatch grub factories, production lines where they can still maintain their line of vision and awareness and keep working to get these grubs out of there. And I just wanted to make a real quick video to illustrate this. Here is the type of log you can see where it may actually have some insects in it. And you can imagine if you're a very large Sasquatch, here you are and you're very focused on this and fishing around. And just like humans, when we work, we get engrossed in something and we kind of lose track of our surroundings a little bit, which is seemingly what happened in this report on Sasquatch Chronicles. But if you put a limb like this and you have it up and you kind of circle them around a tree like that, you can definitely, as you're working around, you would be keeping your line of vision and your awareness of the woods. And I suppose, that there's a couple different questions there. Would they do it standing? Could they actually be sitting down, but at least they're not like looking down at the ground? I mean, obviously you'd look down when you're at the very end, but the rest of the time you'd kind of be upright and you could stack them up and you could move real quick, get around them and get a tasty meal out of it. So that's just something that I was thinking about, because the other purpose that it might serve is if these are sort of like grub factories for Sasquatch, the deer would also avoid them and be pushed into other areas where Sasquatch could then be hanging out to ambush them, as physical obstacles that are covered in Sasquatch scent. So that's just something that I was thinking about, because I'm always trying to figure out, what are these stick structures? They don't actually sound like shelters. And I think we need to add a Sasquatch grub factory into the list of possibilities. All right, thanks for tuning in.